Hello, everyone. This is Gary Kane. You are joined by video today, a part of my daily rants and raves, and we're leading up towards Infocomm. We're doing a whole bunch of special video casts with Infocomm people, and of course, Rave Radio is part of our daily rants and raves is part of our Rave Radio podcast network, which is sponsored by Ingram Micro. But today, I want to talk about someone who I actually had a conversation with last week, Eric Cantrell. Eric Cantrell is the director of sales for Medialon. Eric, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Gary. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I know you're excited. You're getting ready. You're going to be exhibiting in booth. I'm going to make sure I get this right over here. 4855. And I noticed, by the
Yep.
way, on your website, which is at medialon.com, while we were setting everything up here earlier, that you're having some free training, which is sort of an introduction to your system, which might be worth people attending. So, do you mind talking a little bit about that?
Yeah, so at our booth, we're going to be doing demos of the Overture new control system. This is a facility-wide AV management system. It's pretty simple to learn once you have your head wrapped around the basic concepts. We're doing the training in a couple of 2-hour sessions. So we're not going to be doing it at the show, but we'll be happy to sign you up for a free demo of our software, and you can try it out. And we can even do the training over a webinar if you want.
Okay, so if they come by your booth, now I saw Overture at ISE, and it was very impressive. I think it was, it was my first look at an IP-based or network-based control system in a couple of years, and it's very different than what it was a couple of years ago. I mean, I think you would even admit that it's you sort of leapfrog your own technology with Overture, and I think it's good for people to understand the difference between this and sort of a traditional control system.
Right. What we've done is reimagine AV control from the standpoint of the IT managers and the chief information officers, people who are dealing with technology in a building like a corporate facility or a college campus, who are not necessarily AV people, but they need to be able to maintain those service level agreements with their vendors the same way that they would with their IT vendors. So we've really reimagined AV control from that seat. And what we've come up with Overture is really something fantastic. It is a system that allows you to install a piece of software on a server or a virtual machine somewhere in your network and control thousands of AV devices.
Right,
And
you can
be able to
group them together, and you can group them together to define them as rooms or as a whole facility or just a single item. So that, for example, one of the demos that I saw, which was cool, is like if let's say you're doing a whole college campus and you just want that professor to have access to just that one room, but not just the room, but just two items in the room, then he launches his iPhone app, and boom, he only or launches browser through his iPhone, and all he has is access to those two items. So there's no way he or she can mess up the rest of the system.
Exactly. So it's all credentials based, and it gives the right user interface to the right person at the right time, based on the thing that they need to be able to do, which is something that nobody else is doing, and we're really excited about that.
Right, and it's all IP
Something
based. It's all IP based, so it's all network based. And I'd love for you to demo this. Can you kind of talk us through what the system looks like a little bit?
Sure, absolutely. What we're looking at here is what we call a magic menu. Magic menus are the HTML interfaces that are built automatically by the back end of Overture based on the infrastructure database that contains the information about what devices are in which rooms and which people have what roles assigned to them and all of that information. And based on that filtering, it provides the right interface for the people who are logging into the system. So if I look here in the Malaga room, you're going to see that because I'm logged in, I have the ability to look at the projectors and their lamp hours and turn on the projector, open the shutter, change the input, that sort of stuff. But if I was maybe just a janitor, I would only be able to turn the lights on or off. So it really allows you to filter the interface that's being delivered to the in-room interfaces based on time of day or who's in the room, or based on a mobile interface like on your iPhone or a tablet. And then there's another campus-wide interface that's a map-based interface that allows you to pan and zoom around. So if we look at this one, We can pan around the campus, and we'll click here on the Learning Center and go to the third floor and look in that Malaga room again. And we'll switch over to that projector. You can see that I've already turned it on. I can go ahead and open the shutter on that one, and you'll see that it reflects back to the in-room interface or the mobile interface. So everything is live in the system. It's all based on live feedback from your devices. The presentation's a little bit different, but it's all template based. Right. So based on my credentials, this is what I'm able to see. But if I had different credentials, my information would be totally different.
So let's say I'm an integrator, and I've been aligned with someone like Crestron or AMX for years and years and years, and I'm used to using their control. This seems like, how do you keep me from being overwhelmed? Because I already have people who know their systems, and now you're saying I should go in and relearn a way of doing workflow for control systems. A, how easy is it? B, how accessible is it? So I'm an integrator and I want to become a dealer for yours. How hard is it to become a dealer? And then C, how do I get all my people trained so it's worth the investment to sort of switch over to this IP-based system?
Sure. Well, to training, we come from a show control background, which is basically entertainment driven, and you have really tight timelines in rehearsals, and you need to be able to program things really quickly. So our systems are built to be really easy to learn and really easy to program quickly. And that goes to the training as well. Our training for our core system is 2 days, and then the Overture add-on is only a couple more hours or 4 more hours on top of that. So it's really a minimum amount of time invested to get the basics of the knowledge of how to do this. Of course, practice after that. But yeah, to get the basic knowledge down, we're talking about 2.5 days. So it's really a simple system to learn. And then to roll it out, I think you're going to learn more and more about it as you play with it. And it's so flexible that you can build whatever workflows. So for instance, I showed you a technical workflow where I'm working with projectors and lights and audio DSPs and things. But maybe I'm working on a corporate facility where you have salespeople doing presentations all day. They don't want to know about the projector turning on and off and the lamp hours and all of that. So you're going to have a totally different workflow presented to them, and they're going to go in and start presentation, start video conference, make telephone call as their options. So as you learn how your customers need to use the room, you can adapt the workflows that Overture uses to take advantage of that as well.
So in a way, you sort of have to. The best way to design a system like this is to really understand how your customer actually uses it, rather than you telling them how to use it. You just kind of go in and observe how they're using their system and then design the system around that, rather than saying, okay, now we're putting in a touch screen. Let me teach you how to use this to control your room.
Absolutely. Because that's the biggest fault of having a touch screen that's associated with a room, is that everybody of every type that needs to use that room has to learn that touch screen. And if you have a different program or a different company come in and do the one down the hall, you're going to have a totally different experience. With Overture, you build these templates and you apply them across any room that has a similar infrastructure. And then if you know how to use one room, you know how to use all of the rooms that have the same template.
But at the same time, you only give that person access to what they need to know how to do and what they need to have access to. Your example of a janitor only turning on the lights is a good one. So now to answer my other question, which was, how hard is it to become a dealer of your products? Right?
It's not hard to become a dealer of our products. We don't require like minimum quantity orders every year. We just want to make sure that you really understand the technology and that you're going to deliver a quality end product to your customers. And so we're going to help you with that. And training is the first part of getting signed up with us.
So go to Medialon.com. Of course, they can contact you. I've been joined by Eric Cantrell, who's the director of sales for Medialon. Of course, you can check out Medialon at Medialon.com. Booth 4855 at Infocomm. So you're going to be spending a lot of time, a lot of days doing demos.
Doing demos, that's right. I think that's, as soon as people see the software, they're going to see all the possibilities that they have never considered in AV control. And that's what's so exciting about this product.
Yeah, and one other thing you sort of alluded to it, but didn't really drill down on it, and that is you actually have sort of a runtime version of it, demo, I guess you would say, that you can actually download from your site, so you can actually sort of it gives you an experience of what it's like to use your software. And so I would encourage people to go to Medialon.com and download that because it really does. It is very different than what they're used to, but it is logical for you to go in with the customer and say, hey, let me spend a week here and understand your workflow in all areas of your campus, and then I can put a system together that basically allows you to maintain the exact same workflow and just control it using the interface you want to control, whether that be a phone or a tablet or a desktop computer or a keypad for that matter.
Exactly. We're hardware agnostic basically. So it's just a software system. You can install it on a server, in a data center, or in a virtual machine. It doesn't really matter to us where that is. It's more about the user experience and how people interact with the technology. That's really the key difference between IT and AV. Is that IT people are concerned about uptime and service level agreements and making sure that the data packets get from point A to point B and that they're secure and all of that. And AV people are more concerned about the messages the people are trying to send to one another. And it's more about communication than just about sending data packets. So some people flippantly say that it's data versus pixels that we're pushing over the network, but it's more about communication for AV people and secure data network going across the IT backbone. So it's kind of an interesting place in this this merging of AV and IT, and for good or for bad, IT departments are taking over AV, so we have to play to their strengths.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone realizes that. So check out Medialon at Medialon.com and go by their booth at 4850, booth number 4855 at Infocomm. Eric, thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you. I'll see you live. We're going to actually do a live demo of the product at Infocomm, and that way we'll put it on our website so everybody who didn't get a chance to go to the show or didn't get a chance to go by your booth at the show can see it after the show. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you live in about a week.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching.